Ciao darlings, EUGENIUS here. What is going on? Got a video for you today. Got several things I want to talk about. I've got a rather large knife. I've got a box. We are going to open this together. This is from Frederic Malle. But like my friend Tim, I am also unscripted and always unprepared. If you haven't already, check out Tim's channel, Tunes Reviews. One of my favorite reviewers. I've basically grown up watching this guy on YouTube and saw him evolve, from a young boy, where he couldn't grow any facial hair to, the lumberjack that he is now. But I love unscripted Tim, especially when he's a dickhead. That's when he's my favorite. And try and convince him from retiring. Tim, if you retire, if you do decide to retire, I will stab you with a bottle of Guerlain vetiver until you stink to death. But anyway, so I have agreed to a partnership with a retail brand out of Paris that has contacted me. Does this make me a sellout? In my opinion, no. Because my opinion will still be my opinion. This is not a brand. This is a retail chain that I buy my fragrances from. So what we have agreed to do is I will kind of share their name. I'll share their link, which, I've always used this to get my Frederic Malles from because they are certainly much more affordable for me. It's not even a competition. Ordering from Premier Avenue out in Paris or getting them in Canada. It's just stupid difference in price wise, but now they've actually made it even more affordable for me with this partnership. So this would probably work out best for people living either in Canada or the US because they get to save the 20% on VAT. I think it's 19% on VAT. Might not help anybody living in Europe. And that's kind of what they were looking for, somebody to sponsor or partnership with them in North America. But I have to say, as good as the prices are, their prices can't be beat. Everything about this chain, they're not a chain actually, I think it's just a one-off store, fucking sucks. Gail, if you're watching this, Gail is my contact from Premier Avenue. I've had nothing but fucking problems with, getting in contact with you. Sometimes it takes weeks or a week for them to respond to my emails. This thing is, God, it must have been 35 days since I've ordered it. Let me just quickly look here. I have ordered on 9/22/2019. So what is that? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September 22nd. What is today? October 17th. Almost a fucking month. Almost a fucking month it took for this shit to get here. So we're already on bad terms here, Gail. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this partnership. What else? How else can I tarnish this chain? They've sent me numerous times discount codes, and when I go to plug them in, at the back end of my order, it's unrecognizable. They're yeah, you're not granted permission to use these. I'm how fucking irritating is this? Thirdly, which is the most annoying, I had to search for this package. I literally spent a whole day searching for this package. It said delivered to my mailbox, and I go downstairs and there's nothing in my mailbox. There's no slip from Canada Post. There's absolutely nothing. So I get on the phone with Canada Post and they ask me for all my information, and they're you got the wrong mailing address, the shipping address. And I'm well, how can that be? So that's on Premier Avenues, that's So I contact Premier Avenue, and of course there's no response because it takes them forever to fucking respond. I get back on the Canada Post and they're like, well, we can't tell you where it was shipped because that's confidential. I'm like, what the fuck? This is my package. Like, they won't tell me where the package was shipped. So I got like the hamster turning, and I said, I'm gonna call my workplace and see, because that's the last address that I gave them the last time I ordered before here, and they say, yep, there's a package here for you. So not only did I update, you know, my address with Premier Avenue, but they fucked that up and shipped this to my workplace, which they shouldn't have. So that's like 3 fucking strikes, and I'm not sure that this can really go. If we're going to agree on a partnership, this is definitely something I want to share with my viewers before I promote your brand. But that's basically what's happened. Like, just kind of the bullshit day I've had today. So anyway, they do promise a bunch of samples, and I've never really gotten all the samples that I've requested. Like, usually it's like with the orders that I place, it's like 10 free samples of your choice. And the last time I got like 3 that I requested, and the rest were like some bullshit Laurent Maison that nobody really gives a fuck about. But it's just kind of like some kind of annoying nuisance. But anyway, I've got the night here from Frederic Malle. Let's open this up. Gail, you guys gotta fucking clean up your act, because it's unacceptable is what it is. And if we're gonna keep going like this, I'm gonna have to cancel on you guys. I'm just fucking around, Gail. I always take the cheapest, you know, the best deal. But seriously, you need to clean up your website. You need to clean up your, I don't know, is this just like a French thing, or like customer service is just like fucking horrible? Is it a European thing? I'm not really sure what to say or what to think, but all right, right off the bat, I got some really cool things from Frederic Malle, heavily discounted. Oh, so I've got from Serge Lutens, from their exclusive collection. I can't even, it's like gold labeling with the gold name. I can't even read the name, and my eyes are horrible. I can't even make it out. But I've got some garbage from MFK, Amiri's Home. Thanks for that. Oh, Gris Clair from Serge Lutens. I really want to try this out. This is a lavender. I think Gris Clair is the lavender. I think I tried it once and I really liked it. I love lavender. So more garbage from Laurent Maison. I don't know why they keep sending this fucking crap, but I noticed everything's like 50% off on Laurent Maison from Premier Avenue, and this is called Hysteric. Like, honestly, don't fucking send me this garbage. I don't care for Laurent Maison. More Laurent Maison. This is something Lotus. I need glasses. More fucking garbage. Obviously, they didn't send anything that I had requested, so there's that. I don't know. If you're gonna order, do so on your own, not because I told you to. All right, we're gonna save this for later. I wanna show some of the other things that I picked up, and this is really cool, and I've never really got one of these before, but these are the Frederic Malle candles, and some of them are being discontinued, some of them are being repackaged. They usually come in the kind of the orange holder. So this is Russian Nights, and Russian Nights. So the description on Russian Nights is a night at Cafe Pushkin, where rich spice cake is served with black tea from a silver samovar. Outside, snow coats the streets, and candied spires of St. Basil's Cathedral, and a babushka's impassioned song travels in the wind. Nutmeg, cinnamon, iris, and sandalwood for northern frosty nights. I cannot wait to fire these fuckers up. I've started meditating at night, and they say candle, like light a nice candle or some incense sticks. And these things are heavily being discounted on Premier Avenue site. So the inside is still orange, but the outside, it's almost like a ceramic. I think these are all handmade, made in France, Russian Knights. So all I really get is like a little bit of vanilla and some spice, but I cannot wait to spark these guys up. So I got 3 of them. Like, the prices were so ridiculous that I couldn't not. And this one is Bois de Santal. This kind of looks like, I haven't never seen this packaging before. It looks like this is the newer packaging. I really wanted the orange ones. I love the way the orange candle holders look. They're just like so, you know, Frederic Malle, traditional Frederic Malle colors. Okay. I know even in the Frederic Malle counter here in Toronto, they told me that they were discontinuing the orange one. So this one is orange, which is cool. I'm glad I got an orange one. Let's read the description. Oh, wow. Really nice. Let's read the description here. I need some more light. So the description is, Frederic Malle discovered the scent of this Indian tree as a child when facing a giant Buddha that stood at the center of a Parisian apartment. Still haunted by this fragrance, he has asked Carlos Benaim, who shares his taste for exotic woods, to create a sandalwood-scented candle, an alternative way to travel while staying home. Awesome. I love sandalwood. It's usually like really creamy, milky. It's very soft and subtle. Never screams or shouts. Never screams or shouts. Love that. Man, I've got one more candle. There's a candle they had called Chez Monsieur that the description sounded brilliant, but they didn't have any in stock. I'd love to pick that one up, but this is Notre Dame by perfumer Bruno Jovanovic, which I really like, his Monsieur and his Dries Van Noten. Outside of Frederic Malle, I'm not really sure or thrilled with anything else he's done, but let's read the description to this. Oh, another orange one. Perfect. All right, so this is orange. And oh yeah, you can definitely smell the incense. It's very dry and very churchy. There's got to be some patchouli in here. Okay. And the description is, there's no fucking description. Motherfucker. No motherfucking description. There's Russian Knights. Let me have a look. Might be in here. No. No description. Alright, fuck it. There's that. Alright, let's get to the meat and potatoes, the good stuff. And this is the Moon in the newest, I think it's an Oriental series, but in the latest in the Oud series, in the Middle Eastern series, which I'm coming around to. At first I was like, they got 4 in this collection already. Like, he's really, really pandering after that Middle Eastern money, you know? Like, the prices on these are just, like, gone over everything else that he charges for most of his line. So, you know, it's very exclusive, and I was kind of annoyed with that, to be honest. But once I smelt it, I was like, oh my effing Lord. It's too good. So there is the Moon. This one actually says the Moon on it. I got Promise, and it doesn't say you know, Promise anywhere on the bottle. I'm like, how am I going to be able to tell like which is which? So I think they've actually gone and repackaged a lot of them to put the spelling in English instead of just Arabic. But here's the Moon. Let's spray this. I've worn this a couple of times, and to be honest, like the first time I tried it, I was like, I don't like this. I didn't like it at all. It smelled very, I think I just put too much on and it became very cloying. But I wore it for a couple days in a row. It was just so gorgeous. You know, right off the bat, I get that smoky raspberry, almost like shisha, somebody smoking shisha. And it's definitely got, I get that cumin. And I've said before, I love cumin. And cumin for me can take a fragrance from a like to a love. And it's spicy and it's dirty. It's woody. It's got that humanistic flavor to it. There's definitely oud in here. Smoky oud. Resins, leather. I get a lot of leather from this. And I've said before, this is what rose and CUIR should have been, because there's rose in here and there's CUIR, like salty, dirty, animalic leather. This is what rose and CUIR should have been. Not that rose and CUIR is a bad fragrance. I love it for, you know, for what it is, for geranium based fruity floral. It's definitely, there's no rose and there's leather, and we can argue all day long. I've had a couple of my viewers message me and say, oh yeah, I get a lot of leather. It must be, you know, the climate where you're living or where you're wearing it from. But I don't get any leather. I don't get any dirty, animalic, salty leather from it. But this is what this should have been called, rose and CUIR, if they weren't pandering to the Great Gulf. God, it's gorgeous. So there's this place that I go to where I have these meetings, and outside of there, so when I come out, there's this Middle Eastern restaurant. It's weird, and they have a patio, and you know, people are out there all summer. They're still out there even in this weather, and it's mostly women. They're covered in their shawls and scarves, and they're all smoking the shisha. There's no men. I don't know why. It's just, I guess the men are at work, or that's just a stereotype. But it's just women smoking. And the last time I came out of my meeting, I walked into this huge cloud of their smoke, and it reminded me exactly of the Moon. I was like, oh my God, like when I smelt it, it instantly came to me. I was like, okay, I see what they're trying to do with this perfume. So it's dominantly raspberry scented smoke, you know, with rose facets, leather, spices, and oud. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. It's got herbal qualities to it. Oh, it's just like crackling, smoked, like a campfire. That's exactly what it is on me right now. Just like I can picture crackling wood at the end of a night, you know, the moon. Wow. Nighttime's falling, because I spend a lot of time up in the cottage, and we make fire with the kids, and this is exactly what it reminds me of. Lots of leathery cumin, like that humanistic, the smell of warm skin after a good kibosh, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I think that's everything. Like, I can just go on and on about this, but you should really get your nose on this. I thought I liked Promise better than this. I love Promise, and Promise is, to me, a flanker of Portrait of a Lady, but better. It's where the flanker is actually better than the original. Promise is, it's take Portrait of a Lady, and now it's the same perfumer with the same notes, and now let's market Portrait of a Lady to the Middle East. It's smokier, it's got more texture, it's probably even more refined, it's thicker, it's juicier, it's beefier, it's everything that Portrait of a Lady is, but way more animated. It's just like completely out there. As much as I like Portrait of a Lady, like there's no comparison. Promise is just like, you know, head over, like completely way beyond Portrait of a Lady. But I thought maybe I like Promise a little bit better than The Moon, but now I'm not quite so sure. They're both really good. Hopefully you guys can check them out. Anyway, let me know, leave a comment down below. I'm always reading the comments, and sometimes I'll even make a video if on some of the comments, or they'll give me ideas to new videos. But anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all again soon.